guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. Got another Flame Toys figure here. Flame Toys, they're Kuro Kuri, die-cast, non-transforming, transforming homage line. It is number 8 from them, The Fallen. Let's go ahead and get this guy measured real quick. You can see he's got the really large shoulders and things like that. He is just under 8.5 inches tall to the head. The shoulders, if you want to get them there, they are right around 9 inches. But these shoulders, they do extend and things like that. We'll go over that in a second. In fact, we'll go ahead and just hit on it now. But he has missile pods that come out of him, so that raises him up a bit more. They do have light gimmicks as well. In fact, let's go ahead and go over all of its lights really quick. See if we can't get that down further. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. There's a light switch on his back, and you'll notice that this is Tarn. It's hella Tarn, hella retooled. So, not even hella retooled, it's just Tarn. It's Tarn cosplaying as the Fallen. Not the biggest fan, but it's what it is. And that's why I didn't get this to you guys sooner. Normally I order them from D4 Toys and things like that. Unfortunately, this one, even when I saw the prototypes, it rubbed me so much as Tarn that I just could not. So I was actually going to skip this one. Found a really good deal on it though. This is the US release, so it doesn't come with the exclusive sword. Which sucks, but it's what it is. Okay. And like Tarn, it has those pieces coming loose. So it just pegs right back into the bicep or whatever. You can glue stuff like that if you want to. I'm not for the time being, because you never know if you have to repair something or this or that. It actually makes things easier to access. So if it's not just plain falling off, I kind of leave it, you know, able to detach. But that's all the lights and things like that. Let's go ahead and kill the front so we can see just how bright these lights are. That is one cool aspect of this toy. Lights very bright. I love like kind of the hazard caution. It really evokes that like furnace type of feel that the Fallen has in the comics. If you don't know, IDW character, things like that. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. We don't get a lot of Fallen figures, period. Even though this one's not really accurate at all, it's nice to at least see the character get some love. In fact, let me show you one that is. This one's from like, what, 2013, 2014 from Make Toys? So this is their The Fallen. They were able to make an accurate Fallen figure. And honestly, it's the only full size. Like, I think the Transformers Titanium line was the only other Fallen figure that we've seen. And those were like, what, 3-4 inches tall? This one is, I know it's Classic Voyager, but how tall is it? It is just under 7 inches tall. And again, IDW accurate. And honestly, this uses the Power Core Combiner gimmick that we haven't even seen for years and years. So that should tell you something in terms of just, I don't know, love and effort put into this by Flame Toys. Give me 1 second, I'm just reshelving that Chaos Paladin figure, which is the Make Toys one. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these lights turned off real quick. Boom, boom. And I'm not going to go super in-depth with this review. You've already seen me review Tarn. If not, go back, look, like, share, subscribe. But the articulation and whatnot is going to be exactly the same. We honestly just went over the difference right there in terms of gimmick. The shoulders are completely new. Tarn shoulders, I don't believe they lit up or anything like that, but we'll get a quick Tarn comparison in there too. But yeah, I mean, it's okay for what it's worth. It's just not my cup of tea. I wish they would have made it much more The Fallen versus Tarn. Like, I don't like this type of body on them because it's not comic accurate, etc. But things like the color scheme, they did absolutely amazingly with. The head sculpt, just godly. And I mean, even stuff like the lights and clear parts and stuff like that, I mean, they decoed them well, but it's just there's so much Tarn that sticks out through this that is crazy. Even the Tarn hands. And one thing I will say that's improved, the fingers would pop out on Tarn occasionally. This one, it seems like they really revamped whatever they needed to so that they don't feel like they're going to pop out or anything like that. So the hands are much better on this guy. All right, so looking at the accessories, the only things that are special to this figure that come with the, I guess, world release, not the D4 toys, are the flame effects. Outside of that, it is 100% Tarn stuff. And what really rubs it in is the fact that it comes with not only Tarn's accessories, but Tarn's exclusive speakers that are recolored to match the Fallen. Makes no sense. If I recall correctly, the speakers are because Tarn is able to play like a Decepticon Anthem out of them. That has nothing to do with the Fallen. It's not a gimmick of his. Why are these included? It makes absolutely no sense, and it's one of those slap in the face things. It's so freaking lazy. But yeah, Tarn stuff, the flames, outside of that, Fallen stuff is the flames. Outside of that, Tarn. And this toy is so Tarn that I'm going to call it Tarn 50 million times. It fucking sucks. But if you order it from D4 Toys, there is an exclusive. It's like a chainsaw sword. It looks pretty neat. I mean, it's what it is. This one, it rubbed me wrong, so I was going to pass on it. I found a good deal on it, so I bought it. By that time, D4 Toys was well out of stock, well out of sale, shipped out, sold, everything like that. I know some people, so I might get the weapon eventually, but for right now, I'm just going to deal with this if I don't sell it. Okay, and of course, for the sake of comparison, here he is with Tarn. And you could see just, there are differences in him. Like the knee pads and stuff like that were switched out. Outside of that, the legs are pretty samey. Even these side deals. He comes with those on the side that Tarn did not. Those side skirts. Shoulder pads, different. Chest, of course, different. Let's go ahead and light Tarn up. God, that's pretty. But he does not have the lights on the side and things like that. And we'll just go ahead and do the upper body for him as well. Boom, boom. And I mean, they're both pretty, but I mean, one's blatantly Tarn. The other one is cosplay Tarn. That's what it is. Okay, and here he is with other Flame Toys, Kuro Kuri, Decepticon figures. This is it. Dark Victory Leo is en route. It already shipped out in Japan, but the US release, which is exactly the same, no exclusive parts or anything like that, it just hasn't come yet. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's slated for like late January, February or something like that, so we can get him combined up with Dark Star Saber, Dark Star Saber over there, to get the Victory Saber. But again, Tarn, Fallen, Tarn 2, Megatron, Dark Victory Saber. So really dark color schemes throughout them, and Victory Leo is only going to add to that, but I mean, it's what it is. Lots of black and purple and stuff like that. Quick overview of the articulation. You've already seen it with Tarn, but I'm not going to sit here and play with something that I'm not particularly interested in for hours on end. So, get that. I think there's wiring underneath there, so when it comes to that, when it kind of starts to feel like it's stretching or tight, I don't push it any farther. You can just turn it the other way, because I believe there are wires inside of the head. So with the shoulders, this does have some movement there. So for the outward, boom, does have that 360. And I will say, like, even the joints on this are pretty. I love that they have the gold deco on the joints. It's really freaking cool. Double jointed. There's some wrist movement there too. The hands themselves go up. Boom. Not really back and forth rock. Fingers, I believe 3 points for articulation each, including the thumb. There is some finger spread. So there's that. If you have the sword, it pegs into the hand as well as gripping it. back bend, ab crunch, waist swivel, skirts here. I don't know if this is just, it doesn't like come out or forward or anything like that, it's just a little bit loose. So front, back, there's not like drop hips or anything like that on this piece. Outward. Double jointed. Okay. You see that the ankle tilt is already being utilized there. My right, or my, yeah, it's his left. Just really tight. I'm not going to use like shock oil or anything on it. I don't feel like that yet with it, but really tight. So rock, and then that foot movement there. Okay. Boom, boom. Not going to get too crazy with the posing or anything like that. But we'll go on to the accessories. So with this backpack here, I'll actually detach it. Has 2 holes in it. And there are 3 things that you can attach into those holes. You can utilize these, which are the normal blaster thingamaboobers. And they just peg in. Boom. Boom. Okay. Now the backpack itself can go over. Be used as shoulder canvas as well. Oh, I didn't go over that. He does have that sway there too. That's really cool. All right. And that's a good look. I honestly really like that feature. No matter who is utilizing the mold, that's really freaking cool. Now with those, you can take them out and just like Tarn, extend them. Use them as weapons. He holds them okay. Like why they couldn't have just sacrificed this and had it come with a big sword. I guess the answer's obvious because they can take your money easier like that, but yeah. Okay, so there's that. Or you can go ahead and put in the Decepticon Anthem, and these do rock back and forth. But yeah, you can go ahead and have them do that, if that's what you choose. And that's it for the upper body accessories. We'll get into the forearm clasp as well as the cannons. Okay, I already went ahead and put that gauntlet on just to make sure I remembered how. This presses in. There's a mill tab. This goes for both sides. And and there we go. Now you have options here. You could peg one cannon into each side, or you could peg both of them into one side. So you saw how it looked with them pegged onto each side. So let's do, or both of them on one side. So let's see how they look one on each side. Let's do that. Okay. If I remember correctly, yeah. There are pegs that flip out. Pegs that flip out, pegs that flip out. And it's not going to be that one. Just making sure that I'm doing it right. Boom. 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 Okay. That's one side. Other side. Boom. Trying to make sure. Yep. Boom. And boom. Sorry for covering up the camera with my hand there, but gotta actually make it happen. And I mean, there's that. And it's a lot. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not. Okay. Do I got any more tilt there? Nope. Which sucks. Cross the legs a little bit more. Let's see what we could do. I want it to feel more like he's blasting forward, but there we go. All right, now we're gonna lower this. Boom, boom. Take this down. Yeah, that lack of, is that blocking it? Nope. That's not it. That lack of waist swivel is really killing my vibe right now, man. And that's not a this toy thing, it's a Tarn thing. There we go. And like I said, you saw how they looked on Tarn with the dual blasters. But this is how it looks here, with one on each. So I wanted to see if that would work, but it did not. All right. There we go. Now both the blasters do combine and make one big long cannon type deal. In fact, let's light him up a little bit. Yeah, that deserves it. All right. And these peg in the exact same way that I was saying that sword does. The peg holes inside of the hands. So it's neat. I like them. I like that a lot. While we're here, might as well get those flame effects on them. Shit. Alright, so there are two smaller flames that go into those same holes that those tonfa type things or the speakers go into. So, boom. Boom. And then you'll see that there are holes on both the front and the back. So you just got to find what matches up with what. And the hole patterns are completely different for the front and the back. Each side should be blading. And you just peg them in. They're relatively easy. Okay. And slanted. Boom. Boom. All right. I do kind of wish that they would have came with something for the legs too, instead of just solely upper body flames. That would have been cool. But I mean, peep that. That's pretty fucking cool. I'm not the biggest fan. I think it's a lazy ass retool, but when you get shit like that together, it's like, all right, cool gimmick, cool gimmick. Good job, Flame Toys. Okay, and really quick, while I was prepping to end this review, I actually noticed that I had the gauntlets on the opposite forearms than what they were supposed to be, so flip those how I had it, so that the guns, they'll attach either way, but they attach better because one peg is actually longer than the other one, because the front of each of these or whatever sets a little bit lower, so that will make sure that they peg in without like the gun angling or anything like that. And also on this blaster, it does have that flip out handle that he can go ahead and grasp with his right hand, but they are forearm specific, the gauntlets. Okay, and capping this off, this has been Flame Toys Kuro Kuri 08 The Fallen. So, yeah, you know, in the end, I don't mind that it's a retool. I mind that it's so lazily done. It's very much so kind of, well, not kind of, it's very much so Tarn cosplaying as The Fallen, and it's odd, it's awkward, and there are going to be people that are okay with it. I mean, and that's more than fine. If that's the case, I'm glad that there's a market for it. It just doesn't hit me personally. There are a lot of companies that are known for their retools and things like that. Mastermind Creations, for example. They're big on that. But what they do, they design things with retools in mind, so that there are liberties taken on both of them. If they're going to turn, I don't know, Cyclonus into Starscream, it's not going to be an absolutely perfect Starscream, and then just do what you can, put a Tarn head on it, or not Tarn, do a Cyclonus head on it, make it Cyclonus. No, they're going to take liberties from each of them and kind of do a middle, to where it's not perfect to each of them, but they're more than passable on each. Where this one, it's just very much so Tarn, and the Fallen part feels like an afterthought. I don't know if it actually was. I don't know if Tarn was made with the Fallen in mind, but it doesn't show aesthetically. I mean, there are cool parts of it, like the lights and things like that are absolutely gorgeous. About my favorite of the line so far in that regard. Put this down a little bit more. I love like the vent and things like that there. The missile pods are cool. But does it scream The Fallen to me? Absolutely not. Even the flame effects and stuff like that are cool. I think personally, if they were just going to use a body and then put some Tarn decoing on it and stuff like that, they should have actually went with the Optimus Prime body, because that's more of a slim, I guess, muscular type, I don't know, all-around athlete body versus just this big, bulky linebacker juggernaut type that they went with Tarn, which worked really well for that. But if you Google like IDW The Fallen, his body is nothing like this. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I really mean the share part, because I get a lot of compliments and stuff like that, and those are great. But show your friends. I know you guys have collectors and communities that you're a part of. Share these reviews, put them out there, because the more of you guys that are watching, supporting, commenting, and stuff like that, the more I'm motivated to do this. Because in the end, it's a labor of love. It pays, but it doesn't pay my bills. Not quitting my job over this shit anytime soon. But anyway, this has been another Kuma review. Check out the full pictorial, as well as written article on kumastyle.com, and I'll see you guys next time.